Hello and welcome to Tech24. I'm Julia Seeger, and here are your headlines. It's the biggest leak of confidential documents in whistleblower history. In this edition, we tell you how reporters pulled off the Panama Papers and analyzed over 11.5 million documents, or 2.6 terabytes of data, in less than a year. And after being teased and demoed for years, virtual reality has finally arrived with several headsets available to pre-order. How are these immersive technologies transforming the industry of content? We'll ask the co-founder of Canadian startup Felix Studios. But first, when Daniel Ellsberg leaked the Pentagon Papers to the New York Times in 1971, those 7,000 pages of top-secret Vietnam War documents represented a couple dozen megabytes. Then 4 decades later, WikiLeaks published Cablegate, a 1.73 gigabyte collection of classified State Department communications, and that was almost 1,000 times bigger. But today, with the Panama Papers, the world is grappling with a whistleblower on a whole new scale. 2.6 terabytes, well over 1,000-fold larger. So how did the international consortium of journalists manage to analyze all this data in just 1 year? Luke Schrago has the story.
Welcome to Linkurious, the French tech startup with a central role in the Panama Papers scandal. It created an interface allowing journalists to pass the largest data leak in history.
To explore the data, you just have to put the name of someone you're interested in into the search engine.
The software makes it look incredibly simple, helping the user focus on exactly what they need. And when it comes to this much raw data, a picture really does say 1,000 words.
Say I'm looking into the connections of a firm called Criteo, so I put Criteo into the Linkurious search box, and that takes me straight to a visualization.
Previously, only scientists or intelligence agencies would have had access to this kind of computing power. However, journalism in the information age is increasingly defined by effectively weeding stories out of a wealth of facts and statistics. Organizations like French daily Le Monde would never have been able to get their joint investigation underway without software like Linkurious.
We're talking about serious big data. It's just not possible to print it out or go through it piece by piece. We'd never have been able to read through the whole database manually. It would have taken decades.
It's not Linkurious's first time cracking sensitive data. The firm worked with the ICIJ investigative task force on the Swiss leaks tax scandal last year, and even NASA is looking into whether it could help them improve their databases.
And the recent release of the Oculus Rift signals the beginning of a consumer market in virtual reality technology. But that doesn't mean the race for VR content hasn't already started. And to stay ahead of the game, Oculus and Hollywood have turned to Montreal-based startup Felix Studios. Well, I'm now joined by the company's co-founder, Stéphane Retweet. Thanks for joining us, sir. You define yourself as content creators and not as a technology firm, but you built your own 3D 360 degrees camera to produce your own content. So VR clearly blurs the lines between tech and content. What is your job exactly?
So my job remains the same. So I'm a producer of cinematic virtual reality experiences. So we call it cinematic VR. Felix Studio is a content creation studio, and we develop an entire technological platform which includes the camera, the post-production pipeline, and the application for delivering the content and optimizing the content. But it's more by necessity than by wanting us to position ourselves as as a technology platform. So we develop all these tools, and I use the word tool because it's really production tools to enable a creative vision.
Stéphane, the challenge with VR is really the storytelling. There's a new grammar to find with VR content. Would you say it's a new art form?
It is definitely a new medium, and that's what interested us so much into virtual reality. So once you go beyond the limitation of technology, so once you've worked out all the limitation of technology and you use it as a strength to tell your stories, you are able to provide viewers a unique feeling of immersion and intimacy with the actors, with the environment, and a very strong feeling of presence. Therefore, you have to find new ways to tell the stories, as you can't use the usual tools or tricks that we're using in cinema, in conventional cinema. So we can't do cut, close-up, and etc. The minute you're very, serious about the viewer and giving him a reason to be in the scenes, then you have to rethink everything, the way you will be telling stories. It's a great challenge, but it's a very fascinating one. Yeah.
And now telcos, operators, and broadcasters are all craving for VR. The battle for content is heating up. Where do you see this heading? Is sky the limit?
Sky is the limit in terms of cinematic VR. What is great with VR is that it's not only limited to entertainment, to cinema or gaming. You have many other applications. But for what concerns us in terms of cinematic VR, you can develop linear conventional content, I would say, in VR. But you can also use other strengths which has been developed by the gaming industry, for example. So you can use game engine to tell the stories. And this opens you the door as a content creator in cinema for non-linear content creation or multi-layer storytelling, because we can induce interactive component into cinema, and which reacts because it's a relation between the content and the viewer, and the relationship is immediate. So wherever you're looking at, we can induce different changes in the scenes or different scenarios, which can start with, depending where you're looking. Is there a format of cinematic VR, and what it will become? I don't know. I don't want to know. I just want to discover it as we go and explore different productions.
Well, thank you so much, sir. That was Stéphane Retweet, the co-founder of Felix and Paul Studios. And staying with VR immersive experience, here's Test 24. HTC Vive is one of the first high-end headsets to hit the market, and if reports are anything to go by, it provides the best virtual reality experience in town. Well, I'm now joined by our in-house expert, Dan Kadelkar. Welcome. Hello.
Thank you, Julia.
Dan, why is the HTC Vive such a tech revolution?
Well, for a couple of reasons. One, if you compare it to the Oculus Rift, which was recently released, it has two controllers instead of one, which Oculus has. Secondly, it allows you to create virtual space in a sense that you can be a part of the virtual world by physically walking in a square, which you create because of the use of these two laser projectors, which makes HTC Vive stand out from the rest. Now it's similar.
So you're not just sitting on your chair.
Exactly. You can move around, and it's more immersive and it's more fun, as you will experience it when you put on these headsets.
Well, yeah, let's try it on.
Right. Now, one of the reasons why these headsets are so impressive is because it provides high definition videos, and it's done because it's tethered to a powerful computer which is powered by an high-end NVIDIA graphics card called the GTX 970. That's the minimum card you require. Now, for example, here I'm on the deck of a submerged ship. As you can see, there are many fish around me, and here you see a monstrous whale. And I can move on this ship. That's the beauty of this HTC product, that you can actually move and be a part of the virtual world. So I can see myself moving on the deck of the ship. I can have a 360-degree view. Right. I can watch the sky.
It is making me a bit dizzy. I don't know if it's because I'm not in the
because
headset.
You're watching the screen. Had you been using this headset, you wouldn't have felt dizzy, because HTC has taken care to improve the frame per second rate, which stands at 90, and the resolution is quite impressive. It's 1K for your eyes, so you won't feel as dizzy as you would feel maybe using the earlier generation headsets. Now we'll look at the next application. It's called the Virtual Office, and for this, I need to use these two controllers, which become my hands.
Wow.
And
I think you switched your hands there. Right.
Yeah. So as you can see, I can do many things. I can lift a coffee mug. I dropped one. I can
pour yourself some coffee?
Pour some coffee.
Wow. Oh, you poured it.
Sorry.
There you go.
I can drink it. If I don't like the mug, I can just toss it away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And Dan, what about if I'm wearing a virtual reality headset? Can I be part of your virtual world as well?
Well, that's for the future. I mean, that would be amazing, and it would really change everything, because right now this is just a first-person view. Imagine you are interacting with someone in a virtual world. That could be the thing for the future.
But it's not possible for now.
Not for now. Not for now, for sure.
Right. And I know you love space, so please take us on the outer rim of the world.
All right. So now here I'm ready to shoot some alien spaceships, I guess. So I'm ready to rock. And here you can see it's a completely different world. I think on top of me there's a giant spaceship, and I'm shooting at these invaders. I'm very bad at shooting.
Well, you just took one down.
Did I? Okay. So yeah, these are just three of the many
impressive.
exciting games or applications that you can. Let me try my shooting. There I go. So.
All right, well, Dan, come back to our reality.
It's very difficult to distinguish between virtual and real because it's so immersive. You forget reality, which is good at times, I have to say.
And so this is the actual VR experience, but now how do you create the content for it?
Right, there are multiple mediums, and one of those mediums is this device. It's called Aura. It's made by Video Stitch, which is a French company. So it essentially consists of 4 cameras. So each camera has a span of 180 degrees, and it covers 360 degrees in spherical form. So you get a complete image, whether it's up, down, left, right. It's not just horizontal 360 degrees. This camera itself has 2 boards, 2 processing boards. So it's sent to that processing unit, processes the image, and blends this image. Now, the major application of this camera is for mobile live streaming. So, for example, a broadcaster may decide to put this camera during a football match, and while you can watch this match on your mobile set using a virtual reality headset. So, this is a 360 degrees immersive experience, which could trigger, which could be a start of something new in broadcast.
And let's talk about one last immersive experience. It's the hologram. I think you have something here for us.
That's right. This particular hologram, it's made by Comactive, which is another French company. What it does is this device lets the natural light to come in, and it blocks the mirror projection. So what it does is the drone is at the bottom of the screen, but the reflection, you see that the drone is coming out. So this is an example of hologram, which it's going to change everything, because hologram, if you see Microsoft HoloLens, it's going to be a mixture of real and virtual. So unlike these headsets, which is only virtual, reality.
And there would be so much more to say about virtual reality and immersive experience, but we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much, Dan, and thank you for watching. And just remember, you can connect with us on Facebook and Twitter with the hashtag Tech24. Bye-bye now.